Let's get back to ghosts. Baby bops back, boop 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 boop. Baby's bops back, boop 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 boop. Baby bops back, boop 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 boop. Baby bop. So we open with Baby Bop having a flashback of him offing his professor. But then Yaz calls to him from the living room because she done set fire to the kitchen. Why didn't Yaz go with Tasha? Oh, they at Debbie Morgan's place. Oh Lord, Debbie Morgan done got dementia. She got the baby cooking for herself and her. Can't remember when Tariq came by. This ain't good. Cause you need to be able to keep the story straight with the pawpaw. Meanwhile at Monet's, she hears some glass break in her kitchen and runs to get her gun. It was just Drew downstairs, but how big was that V on her Valentino belt? That was like 6 belt buckles in one. Across town, we got Kane and some Spanish dude from last season. I done forgot, but he kind of cute. And Kane's like, you know Big Wop and you knew my dad, so can you get me a connect? So the Latino guy thinks that Kane's giving him a narc tea, but before they can really get into their little argument, 2 guys run and they trying to avenge the brother that got shot when he came for Kane's family. So that's pretty much the end of GTG because now the leader's hanging out with Kane, giving Kane half. That was they shares anyway, so toodaloo. Cause that Latino grabbed that gun so fast and switched up the scene on him, kapow, kapow. I was like, okay, that's the friend I want. And he cute. I like him cute and useful. Downtown, Davis McLean is getting ready to give an interview. So Tariq calls his lawyer and is like, hey, I need to speak with my mom in witness protection because somebody gotta come get Yaz. Back on the court, Zeke doesn't know if he wants to do another year of college ball or immediately go pro. The sissy is like, look, you've got time. You don't want to mess up a good career going out too early. Think about it. Now Tariq with his white friend who looked 10 years older than him, telling him, yeah, I was at my grandma's with my sister last night, but mama's in Witsack. So he invites him to his family hunting trip, and Tariq's like, I don't know. He's like, well, at least come to the kickoff dinner. And he's like, maybe. Tariq don't mess with him. He's just waiting till he needs him so he can throw him up under the bus. Back at school, Tariq's girlfriend is like, oh, hey, I heard your mom got out. But then Professor Carrie Hilson comes up and is looking for her man. Well, her ex. Well, her current. Well, now he's dead, so you can finally move on. Thank God. At least you can make better decisions. Well, you probably gonna find somebody else piss poor to fuck. Because you just gotta mess your shit up. You're a Sheree Whitfield with a better edge of McKay. So, the theology question, or the philosophy question, is free will an illusion or are actions preordained? I think it's a mix. Tariq's lawyer is giving Sax a makeover. What are you going to turn him into? He already ugly. And you can't fix, about to be coot ugly. You just let it be. You just let it be. Oh, goodness. Now we got the politician, Lorenz Tate, crashing at his brother's house, and his brother is peeved he there and drunk as a skunk in the middle of the day. So he moped about the lost governor's race, and his brother said, look, you still got that councilman position. You better get yourself up by your bootstrap and keep on trucking. You got more than most heifer. Meanwhile, Monet and her daughter have gone on a little shopping spree. Then after that, they go to pick up some cocaine. And Monique got to drop by somewhere. And the daughter's like, are you sure we carrying weight? You might want to wait on that. She's like, look, just stay in the car. So the daughter does. Monique goes to run her errand, but she come out. And she see the daughter talking to the popo in the car. She's like, oh, Lord. But child Diana got rid of him with a wink and a smile. Mary get back to the car. Diana like, did it just like you taught me. Smile a little, flirt a lot, make him feel he can get it. So now we at the going away dinner for Hunter's family before their little hunting trip, and Tariq's with them. He's like, oh, you getting a new car? For all the money they got, that was a pretty basic ass Mercedes. Like, I figured they would have gotten him like, a 550, some type of coupe or a sports car. Really? That little C-list shit? I mean, hell, if we all put our backs into it, we could get that shit our damn selves. Like, come on, impress me. IMPRESS, impress me. Oh, this dinner is filled with microaggressions and just ignorant honkies. Talking about diversity and need-based. Do you know Tariq makes more money than y'all? Do you know his daddy made more money than y'all? Legal or illegal? Like the lyrics said. And y'all money ain't legal either, so boy, boom. So he said, well, look, my daddy trusts paying for my education, but go on, honky, go on. Then he starts talking. Then the guy starts saying, oh, I heard about your father and the rumors about him after his untimely demise and, what drugs have done to the minority community. And Tariq said, I agree. I mean, look at what they've done in Appalachia, but Big Pharma ain't going to jail. No, they ain't. The Sacklers are still rich. Meanwhile, at the park, they done found Jabari's body with Monet's boyfriend's gun, the one that Kane killed. So now Tate goes by that powerful Democratic guy who kind of set him up last season. And he's like, look, I've been thinking about my next moves. And he's like, I know you didn't come to my house with this mess. So he wants to go after this one guy's seat. And the Democratic guy's like, nothing's going to get him out. He's a legend and he's not going nowhere. You'd have to have some real dirt, and ain't no dirt. Meanwhile, across town, we've got Professor Carrie Hilson on the phone with her therapist saying, I'm not going to get into it with Zeke or Jabari anymore. Yeah, because Jabari dead. But this police detective that I used to date, he called me. He wants to meet for coffee. He wants to meet you so he can tell you your man is dead. Lord, you're going to spiral. He's a good guy, an adult, and we have chemistry. I know we're going to take it slow, but girl, you have chemistry with a toaster. I don't know what you wouldn't hump on. You'd probably say you had chemistry with me. How you gonna ask this heifer to coffee and then say, oh, I want to take you someplace else, and then have her swing by the city morgue to identify a body? Don't ever pull that shit with me. I ain't identifying it just off of GP. I'm walking away and looking at you like you crazy. Now, if you want me to come identify a body, let me know I'm going to identify a body. That ain't something you spring on nobody. So the cop sees her reaction and is like, oh, was y'all fucking? She's like, no, we worked together. Well, yeah, back in the day we fucked. Please, 2 days ago you fucked. You might be pregnant with this child. You and a third of the student body. So she telling Jabari, damn, I'm real sorry. And he's like, are you responsible for this? She's like, what? Is this why you ambushed me? He's like, well, you kind of fuck at work. You blur. And basically, he's saying, you're nutty boo. She ain't nutty boo enough to kill nobody. Then again, I don't know. I'll be honest, I wouldn't put it past her. So she go to walk off, and he's like, look, you can help or you can leave. I need to know all the kids you questioned about the other murder because they probably related. Oh, God, Wesleyan is whining about being in a rich family and being set up into a trust fund. Boy, just do what they ask to get your own money up for a couple years and then do what the hell you want. It's called being an adult. Ooh. Or pull the Menendez brothers and give us a great Lifetime movie. Either or. But right as his whining hits a crescendo, news of Jabari's demise hits the campus. So Monet said, I'm going to make a plan for us to get out of the business. I'm going to tell Zeke to go pro, and he's our exit plan once he's making endorsements in 3 years. Honey, you could end up with a Tristan Thompson who ain't making shit off shit. He might have to fuck a Kardashian for child support. There's a whole lot of second and third string players. He could end up a Juan Dixon. A whole bunch of basketball players are not out here caking off like that. You have not groomed him for business. I don't know if you could count on him to be your exit strategy. I wouldn't. So Monet finds out about Jabari's death too, while Tariq is at home hoping his mama call his burner. Tariq's little girlfriend stopped by, teared up about Professor Jabari. And Tariq's like, oh, God, I had to kill this fool. Really? Now I got to pretend to care? Okay. You could put your acting hat on for this, but, you're doing what you can, baby. Baby Bob. So she's like, you don't even seem upset. He's like, I didn't know him. My sister died. My parents were murdered. My friends were murdered. I hadn't dealt with death before. This ain't nothing, little girl. But my phone's buzzing. Kane's calling. I gotta go. So he go meet with Kane and tell Kane to calm down. Look, just because the papers ain't said Ramirez did it don't mean that they don't think Ramirez did it because we used his gun. Stop worrying. Then he get a message from Monet. Come to dinner. Oh, Lord, but now the tenderoni's stopping by Professor Carrie Hilson's. They gonna bump some Uggs? Now, Carrie, your friend just died. Why are you listening to the brew? You could have just had on, whoa, shot. You got on the sex music, then, oh, just hold me. Girl, at least have on something sad. Ain't nobody grieving to that. So he tell Monique, yeah, I don't know what happened with that murder, but ain't nobody looking at us, don't worry. And Monique like, all right, look, just move my product. Let's have some supper. They really on they insecure with the music in the latter half of this episode. I'm like, okay, Power, I see you. Back with Professor Carrie Hilton and her tenderoni. She's like, I just can't get his body out of my head. Do you think that Tejada's had something to do with it? He was like, no, what would make you think that? Why would you jump to Tejada? Oh. Monique threatened her and said, I'm going to tell the school that you sleeping with the tenderoni. So now she putting two and two together. Monet, you done gave it away. So Reek bring Hunter, or Weston, whatever his name is, the new bricks from Monet, and he's like, we back in business, and so he gonna go on the little hunting trip with them. So now we got Kane and that Latino guy he was working with, and he brings him the driver of the guys that shot at them. And he's like, look, you could make him suffer, you could kill him, or you could show mercy. But no, whichever you choose shows me who you are. I don't know, what would you do? I feel like I would say this, if you make him suffer, you're sick. And that might get you shot. If you kill him, you might be too ruthless. And that might get you shot. I feel like going with mercy might be the best answer, where it's like, look, you got to be judicious with who you kill and what you can get out of them. Because you could be a lot more useful to me live than dead. Oh, God. So Kane unties him just to fight him. I ain't fighting your ass. This is a business meeting. Ain't nobody got time for all that. I'm in my good coat. Please, grow up. Child, so he done fought him and snapped his neck, taking all kind of unnecessary risks. You've shown me you're a moron. But Mecca gonna work with his dumb ass. Meanwhile, at Monet's house, them kids is real sick of her running their lives. They like, we ain't gonna work for Zeke forever. We gotta figure this out on our own. Back at the hangar, Kane walking through and he see a plane loaded up with cocaine. And Mecca walks up behind him and he's like, you see, now I'm gonna have to kill you because how can I trust you with my secrets? Lord, out in the woods, we got Tariq and the honkies. Why is this a plot line? They could have stayed in the city for this shit. Or at least done the Hamptons, where it would have been a little more plausible. Back in New York, Monet pops up on Zeke at the gym, and he's like, did you threaten my professor? And she said, yeah, that messy hussy. So Monet tell him, look, you got to sign up for the draft. You got to make a move for the family. And he's like, I'm sure. He's like, okay. He ain't signing up for shit, or he gonna throw it to stay back in school. Your exit strategy is fucked. Back with Tate, he's asking his policeman brother to log him into the system so he can get dirt on that congressman. Or the congressman took a pot shot at Tariq. See, I ain't gonna, Don't go hunting with honkies. I'll do a whole bunch of shit with them, but hunting? Nah. Braid was like, what the fuck? Now we're back with Tariq's lawyer, and he's visiting his brother in prison, and he done hired Sax to help him get his brother out of prison because I'm sure there's some misconduct in the past, and Method Man gonna squeeze it out of him. But back at Monet, she hear a noise and gets scared again, but it's Kanan at the door. You changed the locks? Hell yeah. Not Kanan, Kane. They the same. He said, Ma, let me in. I got us a new connect. She just walk away. She's like, I ain't even got time for you today. However, what he don't know is that Latin dude that he gonna be distro for was watching him get turned away by his mama like Kenya Moore. Okay, now I'm confused. How did Jabari end up with Tariq's burner phone? Because Tariq was at home waiting for his mama to call, but then the popo called on his burner and they traced it to Stansfield, honey. They are hot on your trail. I wonder if the guilt will be tossed upon Professor Carrie Hilson. So they gonna focus the investigate on Stansfield because that's where they'll find the killer. All right, well, I'm gonna see you soon for something.